Here to talk football is former Sun Devil quarterback, who, by the way, went 3-1 against that team in Tucson.
Carpenter going to go up with time, steps up, looks end zone, got a man, McGahee, touchdown!
And Rudy Carpenter threw that right into the teeth, into the strength of the Wildcat defense.
Rudy Carpenter, now on Rockin' Manooch on Fox Sports 910 on FM and 99.9 HD2.
So over the weekend, Steelers traded a conditional 2025 sixth-round pick for Justin Fields of the Chicago Bears, which will become a fourth round if he plays in 51% of the snaps this coming year. Joining us now to talk about this trade, and got to ask you right out of the gate, Rudy, when you look at this move, is this maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers saying, all right, we're going to hold on to Justin Fields until another team's starter goes down and then trade him because they got him for basically nothing and then get a bigger pick, a better trade down the road, a better pick? Can you see that happening?
I mean, I guess that can always happen, but I think in reality, the reason that they got him is for multiple reasons. Number one, you have Russell Wilson, but you're not really sure what you have in Russell Wilson. He's been, in my viewpoint, up and down the last few years. You're not really paying Russell Wilson, anything but the minimum because the Denver Broncos are paying him, the vast majority of the money. You could consider Russell Wilson to be, maybe he's on the back half of his career. Who knows? These guys are playing, much longer than before, but maybe he's not elite as Brady or Russell Wilson, and you get Justin Fields for really nothing either. And now you have both these guys in the room, and you allow these guys to battle it out and see who's going to be the starter. And I think maybe the way that the Pittsburgh Steelers could view it is, one of a couple things happens. Either Russell Wilson ends up being great and he stays there for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years and plays out the remainder of his career and does awesome, and you can trade Justin Fields again for more picks or something of that nature. Or Russell Wilson is just average at best or not very good, but he's a great teammate and gets to teach Justin Fields, and Justin gets to sit back and learn from a pro like Russell Wilson. And maybe when you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you're always looking for a young quarterback to develop, and you can say, hey, we're going to give Justin Fields a second chance at developing within an organization that has the structure to make him successful. So I think it's one of two things. Justin Fields either becomes their starter and their future franchise quarterback, or you can trade him at some point for, picks.
Rudy, I think it's interesting. I agree with all that, but the Steelers came out and said there's not going to be any competition for the starting job. It's Russell Wilson's. Justin Fields will come in and back him up. I just find it odd for them to make that public like that, because I'm like you. Let's let them battle it out. Let's see how much growth Justin Fields has made over the last couple of years. We already know where Russell Wilson's at, where he's at, how he handles the offense, et cetera, et cetera. But I don't know, is that kind of a statement from the Steelers to appease Russell Wilson, say, to reassure he's still the guy versus open competition? I just kind of scratch my head to have an organization make that public like that.
I don't think any of that's true. I think that's what they're saying, and that's what they're publicly doing in order to get Russell Wilson to sign there. I think in reality what they're saying is, guys, we don't want the attention. We don't want the public attention of there being this quote-unquote quarterback competition, quarterback controversy. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers and the organization are trying to nip that in the bud now. They don't want the media circus. They don't want there to be an ESPN countdown ticker every day as to who's going to be the starter in Pittsburgh. I think what they're saying is we're going to nip this in the bud now. For right now, Russell Wilson is our starter. For right now, we're moving forward with Russell Wilson as our starter. He's going to take all the first-team reps. As of today, we plan on Russell Wilson being the starter. But things in the NFL change quickly. Justin Fields is going to go in there. He's going to get reps. He's going to learn. He understands he's going to be the backup. All the roles are defined right now. This is what I think the Pittsburgh Steelers want. They just want things to be defined. And look, if if Russell Wilson is not playing up to standard after week 5, week 6, week 8, week 10, I can bet you a lot of money that the Pittsburgh Steelers will have no problem putting Justin Fields in and kick the tires on him and see what they have. And, you know, the Russell Wilson contract allows them to do that. They're not paying him very much money. They don't have any allegiance to him. And so I think right now, if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, your hope is that either Russell Wilson or Justin Fields ends up becoming your long-term franchise guy. I just think they're saying that publicly so there's not going to be a continued media circus between now and the first game of the year.
Rudy Carpenter is our guest on the Wright Toyota guest line. Rudy, let's go to the Cardinals then. They made a deal, brought in Desmond Ridder, former starter with the Atlanta Falcons, showed flashes throughout the season, but made mistakes. So does this, and to follow up with what you just said about Russell Wilson, Desmond Ridder is not costing the Cardinals much either. So is this the correct move for the Arizona Cardinals?
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, if you're typically you want to have your starting quarterback and your backup be somewhat similar guys. That way your offense doesn't have to dramatically change if your starter goes down. I also think that anytime your backup quarterback has to play, it's going to be a little bit chaotic because he's not a guy who gets a lot of reps. So because it's going to be chaotic, you want a guy who can move around a little bit and pick up some yards with his legs and also be able to move around and kind of create plays that are off schedule. And I think if you look at a guy like Desmond Ridder, is he as fast and as elusive and as, electric as Kyler Murray? No. But is he a guy that gives you the run game element to your quarterback position? Yeah, and I think he's a guy that has starter experience who can be a really good, solid backup for Kyler Murray. And if Kyler Murray ever goes down, which he has over the last couple of years, you can bring in a guy who, one, has starter experience, and two, who can run around and use his legs, and the offense can kind of stay the same as it was with Kyler in the picture.
And when you take a look at that, Rudy, I mean, it's interesting they gave up, that being Atlanta, gave up on a quarterback, a third-rounder, after just a couple of seasons per se. You look at that, if he goes down, this team's making a move, and they're starting to win games, and I still think he's a little inexperienced after, 19 games, but there were so many experienced quarterbacks on the market. I counted 16, of which I think only Tannehill and Carson Wentz are the only remaining. Out of all those that got placed or traded for and that type of thing, would you not have thought the Cardinals would have gone after more experience if this team gets on a roll to be able to handle everything besides upside potential in a Desmond Ridder?
Yeah, but I mean, this is not a dig against Monty Austinfort or anybody else inside the Cardinals front office, but I just don't really see it happening. I don't really. They just lost Hollywood Brown in free agency. I mean, we'll see what they do in the draft, but they also lost one of their offensive linemen. I mean, I don't know. Are the Cardinals really positioned this year to win a bunch of games and go on a run? Is this roster really ready to do that? I don't know. And I think if you're not ready to do that, do you really want to go spend, $5.5, $4.5 to $6 million a year on a backup quarterback, which is what those, big time experienced guys are getting? So I don't think you want to. So the perfect answer is to go get a young guy that's still on a rookie contract, I believe, and pay him the minimum for his time in the NFL and try to save some money there.
He's Rudy Carpenter here on Fox Sports 910. Rudy, as always, buddy, thanks for some time. And quarterbacks, a lot of changes this coming year, but I think you're dead on, as the Cardinals have not really done much this offseason to improve. So it may be the same old Cardinals once again, which is not going to be fun to watch. But thanks as always, Rudy. Thank you for the time.
All right, guys.
Rudy Carpenter joining us here.
The one guy we
we
were talking about last week that was out there available was Tyler Huntley, who got signed. How about that? By the Cleveland Browns. They got 4 quarterbacks now there, and that's the one I know that Shu was hot to trot on, reference to that.
By the way, Shu called out sick today.
Yeah, how about that?
Remember what we talked about on Friday?
Yeah. Oh, interesting, yeah. That St. Patty's Day influenza.
I don't think he's not one of those. Chris doesn't come across as one of those guys that's at the bars until 2 in the morning at all.
Very responsible individual.
So I'm surprised that he took in the holiday as he did.
Funny.
And now he's off today.
When I saw that Brother this morning from our program director, I went, "Oh, so he's following Rock's, man vice." A lot of those things. I thought about you exactly when I saw it, but she's not that kind of guy. You can trust he's probably actually got the flu bug.
Play the Fan Pick'em. Go to fanpick'em.com. It's our Twin Peaks Win 910 on 910 bracket contest hosted by us and Twin Peaks and in Bad Birdie Juicy Golden Nail. You just go to fanpick'em.com and fill out your bracket. And then next time you're at Twin Peaks, try a 29-degree Bad Birdie Juicy Golden Air draft. It's available at all 5 locations. Did you like it yet? Have you had it?
I went to BKD's and tried it there.
Yeah.
Yes. And I thought it was okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked...
I haven't had it yet.
Okay, yeah, I think you'll like it. I like the amber, I think, a little better. The Rockin' Manooch amber, a little better. Okay. I think that's, just personally for me.
Everybody has a different palate.
Taste buds, yeah.
Jax, what did you do with the gift we got Jimmy B from Bad Birdie?
I haven't given it to him yet.
Oh, okay. You got to make sure you give it to him. Well, you don't even know what you're laughing about yet. Last Thursday when you
Get some water, Jimmy.
I know.
When you were dealing with your
my
toothache.
Oh, yeah.
We had Bad Birdie come join us at Twin Peaks.
Oh, God.
And,
that's awesome. I'm sorry.
They gave us some swag, and you were the only one that
wasn't there.
No, that it was fit. It was fit.
Hint. Therein lies.
So, good stuff.
So, you're telling me you were shopping in the boys department at JCPenney's?
Yes, boys, not men.
Yes, boys.
Yes, absolutely. But I got some football 50 we're going to dive into here in a bit as the 49ers lost a 2025 fifth-round pick and a reduced 2024 fourth-round pick. We'll tell you why. You're not going to believe it. It's kind of screwy. It's Rockin' Manooch, Jimmy B, out here at the Casino, Arizona.